Good morning, beloveds. If you have not been outdoors yet, prepare yourself. I think the app said it was 76 degrees, but it was just thick and muggy out there. And apparently it's going to get to 90 today. And then we have a storm coming in tomorrow, so it'll cool back off. But yeah, it's just, yeah. So just a heads up. Just a heads up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know where I live, but when it's this early in May, and, the air conditioner comes on at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're just kind of like, okay. But it is May 10th, and our title is Good is Forever Expressing Itself to Me as I Seek and Find the Best in Life. The title is Thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. That is Luke 15:18. Realizing that we are in the midst of an ever-present good and believing that there is a law that brings everything good into our lives, we should learn to think and act as though every wrong condition of yesterday were converted into something new and better today. I believe that all the mistakes I have ever made are swallowed up in a love, in a peace, and in a life greater than I am. Therefore, I surrender all past mistakes into the keeping of this ever-present, divine, and perfect life. I affirm that love is guiding me into a real and deep cooperation with life and into a sincere affection for everyone. Today is a fresh beginning, a new start, a joyous adventure on the pathway of eternal progress. Today is bright with hope and happy with fulfillment. Therefore, I affirm that this is the day that God has made, and it is good, and that I find fulfillment in it. There is something that is making everything in my life simple, effective, and whole. There is something that is arranging every circumstance so that the success and happiness will come from it. There is something in me that goes out in love and confidence to everyone I meet. Something that blesses everything I touch. Something that brings peace and comfort and joy to my world. In every thought, in every deed, in every act, I am sustained by an infinite power and guided gently into an increasing good for myself and for others. All right. So 2 things are happening in here. There's something within me. The divine spark, spirit, love, God, whatever word, Atman, whatever word you want to use, what is within you. Joy, peace, harmony, qualities of God. God is within you, because you are God expressing in this plane of existence. You are spirit expressing in this plane of existence. And if you are willing to acknowledge that and feel that, then the blessings come thicker and faster. You're always blessed. Sometimes it's hard to see that because sometimes we go through things. We've been going through something for the last 14 years, and we're all going, well, where's the blessing in that? We'll find them. And to some degree, we have found them. And in no way am I discounting the suffering that we've been through. But when we are suffering, one of the things that can ease the suffering is to look for the good, look for the blessings. Even if sometimes it's just reflecting on what we had and using that to build something new. He also says that every mistake, that I believe that all of the mistakes that I've ever made were swallowed up in love. And that's pretty amazing too, because it reminded me of the thought of the best apology is changed behavior. Like, you can say you're sorry as much as you want, but until your behavior changes, are you really sorry? And so they're swallowed up in love. Well, the love is coming from the person that you are asking forgiveness of, but the love is also coming from you because you have recognized that what you were doing wasn't working and you're going to try something new. So, good is forever expressing itself to me as I seek and find the best in life, which sounds an awful lot like what Emma says, look for the good and praise it. All right? Thou art ever with me, and all I have is thine. I don't know who's speaking in that one, and who, so I'd have to go back and look. But whatever you think, whatever you believe, God is always with you. Spirit is always with you because you carry that divine spark within you. Realizing that we are in the midst of an ever-present good and believing that there is a law that brings everything good into our lives. So the good is always present, whether we are aware of it or not. And we believe that there is a law because we've seen it in action that brings good into our life. We should learn to think and act as though every wrong condition of yesterday were converted into something new and better today. So they, Ernest and Raymond, are acknowledging that things happen. Non-preferred things happen. And when they do, we have the opportunity to convert them, to learn from them, to make of that situation something better. And sometimes it takes a minute, and sometimes it takes a year, and sometimes it takes longer than that. But we have the opportunity. We have the opportunity to go forward from something that was non-preferred and create something out of it, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. We have the potential. I believe that all the mistakes I have ever made, are swallowed up in a love, in a peace, in a life greater than I am. God will never judge us. God will never judge us for the mistakes that we have made. Do we occasionally need to make amends? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm big on making amends. And as I said, the best apology is changed behavior. So if what you're doing isn't working, then say you're sorry and move on. God won't judge you though. And God doesn't have to forgive you because God won't judge you. God loves you exactly as you are. And God loves you as you grow and change. Therefore, I surrender all past mistakes into the keeping of this ever-present, divine, and perfect life. Meaning there is a blueprint, there is an idea. God has an idea, Spirit has an idea of who we are. So if we let go of the mistakes that we've made and we go back to that blueprint, we're going to do better. And God is going to accept that because we're letting go of the mistakes that we've made and moving forward into the life that God knows us as. It's like, if you ever heard the phrase, be the person your dog thinks that you are, it's kind of the same with God. God knows who we are. And when we're not living up to that potential, God is patient and is waiting for us to live up to that potential. But God isn't going to judge us if we don't, while we are not. God will simply wait patiently until we do. I affirm that love is guiding me into a real and deep cooperation with life and into a sincere affection for everyone. And that is what God will do. God will wait until we say, all right, I need a look at the picture on the box. Referring to puzzles. I need a look at the picture on the box. And God says, okay, let me show you. This is who I know you to be. This is who I know you to be. Now let me show you how to get there. And your guidance will come in all these wonderful and interesting and different ways. Today is a fresh beginning, a new start, a joyous adventure on the pathway of eternal progress. And that is every day. Every day can be that. Every day can be that. When you open your eyes, that's the mindset you open your eyes with. It's a grand adventure. A new start. Today is bright with hope and happy with fulfillment. Therefore, I affirm that this is the day that God has made, that it is good and that I find fulfillment in it. That statement right there, you wake up with that statement in your mind and you can't help but have a better day. Is it going to be the greatest day? Maybe. Will tomorrow be even better? Possibly. But that's how you start out. You start out with that, thinking today is the day that God has made, and it's going to be amazing. You also want to know there is something that is making everything in my life effective, simple, effective, and whole. And that's the law. That is the law. Know the law. Use the law. Work the law. Because the law is there for you to use. And the law doesn't judge. The law just says yes. There is something that is arranging every circumstance so that success and happiness will come from it. And that is our willingness to accept that success and happiness. There is something in me that goes out in love and confidence to everyone I meet. That's God. That's spirit. That's soul. That's love. That is the divine spark within us, the one that says, you are a godling, and all that I have is thine. There is something in me that goes out in love and confidence to everyone I meet. Something that blesses everything I touch. Something that brings peace and comfort and joy into my world. And here's the cool thing. It blesses everything I touch, whatever that something is. But everyone has that. Everyone has that something. I'm going to call it the divine spark. Everyone has that divine spark. Everyone has that divine spark within them that goes out in love, that blesses everything that they touch, that blesses everyone that they touch. It's there. They just have to be willing to expect and accept. In every thought, in every deed, in every act, I am sustained by an infinite power and guided gently into an increasing good for myself and others. Because what I want for myself, I want for everyone around me. And I want everyone to have a look at the picture on the box and to see who they are, to know that they are that child of God and that they have that divine spark within them. So what is our mission today? If we choose to accept it, I would tell you that it is to believe that all the mistakes that we have ever made are swallowed up in a love, in a peace, in a life greater than we are, so we can surrender them. Surrender the mistakes that you have made in the past. Surrender them to God, because God is not going to judge you. God is not going to judge you. But God will show you the picture in the box of who you are. Because God knows you to be this loving, perfect, whole, healed, beloved child. That's who God knows you to be. God knows you to be joyous and happy and all of that. So surrender your mistakes and let God show you the picture on the box. That's the mission today. Yeah, I know. It's kind of a big one. But God don't play small. And God don't make no junk. So, go play with the big boys and the big girls. All right, beloveds. I would encourage you to do something loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself. And letting go of your mistakes is definitely one of them. Because we can make a small mistake and torture ourselves for years over it. And it does nobody any good, especially not you. So if that's something that you can do today, that would be an infinitely loving, kind, and compassionate thing for yourself. If not, pick something else. It's up to you. It is truly up to you. But loving, kind, compassionate. Because the more loving, the more kind, the more compassionate you are with yourself, the more you will have to share. The best place to practice is right here on yourself. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. This is the state of grace that we live in. So, please do something to engage your mind and your body today, whatever it looks like. Go for a walk, get some fresh air, get some fresh perspective. If you are going to go for a walk, do it early because it's going to get hot. At least here. If you're watching somewhere else and it's cooler, then, hey, good for you. But drink some water. Drink some water. Get a little sun on your face first thing in the morning, which is code for take care of yourself, because you are loved. You are truly loved. And while you're at it, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven now. It is all around you. As Emma says, look for the good and praise it. Because the more you look, the more you see, the more you see, the more there is, the closer we get to the world that works for everyone. And that's the goal. All right, beloveds. It is Monday, which means Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m. I believe that the book study is going on still in Tennessee at 6 p.m. So if you're interested in that, email info@creativelife to get that Zoom link. creativelife.org. info@creativelife.org. And I'm not sure if they've moved on or if they're still doing Divine Audacity, but there it is. Although if you're watching this on YouTube, they've probably moved on. And I will be back with you on Facebook Live at 9 a.m. Please bear in mind that these talks are archived on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel, so you are more than welcome to go and look up any date in the last, I started this in March of 2020, so, yep, there's all that day and time. And there's 2 different books now. Yay. So feel free, go look it up. See if I've got anything interesting to say on any particular day of over the last year and month. All right, beloveds. Do what you need to do to make it a wonderful day and know that you're loved.